Okay, right now, ladies and gentlemen, boom, we are on YouTube. We have our YouTube up. Look at my channel and see if we're there.
We are.
Yes, we are there. Hello, everybody. Yes, there.
Yes.
And I will check Facebook. But anyway, hey, how y'all doing? That's Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Is your Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, that's Instagram. And should that work? Yeah, because that little angle you had last time was really good.
Yeah, pick it up.
And we
set it there.
are Facebook.
Okay.
We are everywhere, guys. We are live and everywhere. Unfortunately, this doesn't want to do it. We don't really care. And
This is Instagram. You need TikTok.
this is Facebook. That's TikTok.
Okay.
So
Got it.
So
So
that we're everywhere.
Instagram.
Mhm.
We're
There's a lag. I can't turn
We're right
Instagram.
okay. So
Now I can do this. I'll just, ladies and gentlemen, I can do this. But if I do this, it's going to put
no,
us.
don't remove.
It's going to put us in a little weird spot, but it's okay.
Here,
Y'all be cool.
you scoot back a little.
No, don't move, babe. Because I'm about to do something.
Okay.
All right. Are you looking at Instagram? Where's Instagram?
This is
Okay.
Instagram right here. All right, we're trying to make sure everybody can see us tonight, guys. So give us just 1 second.
Let's see if this works. Let's see. Okay, look at Instagram.
Okay, good.
And look at YouTube.
Good.
All right, now I can do this a little bit better. Now I'm going to have, this is just because I have YouTube, and it's just that we won't be doing this all the time. Whenever we do our live, we can do our live. Now, hello everybody.
Hi.
Let's get
Hi,
this
hi,
out of
hi.
Mrs. Dallas's way because it's in
There
her
you
face.
go. That's better.
Okay, so who are you? You are Instagram. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, TikTok. This is Mrs. Dallas. She is the love of my life. I'm going to make sure that we have this set. I'm going to this is going to be taken off. I'm going to redo this, so you don't worry about that for you people that are watching YouTube. Hey Judy, how y'all doing? Yeah, y'all can just bounce in anytime you want.
Where's Facebook?
Facebook is Facebook.
Turn that
Facebook.
off.
This is Facebook.
Is it? Okay.
This is Facebook.
All right. We just want to make sure we had everybody.
This is
Because
Facebook.
there were people on Facebook last night that were asking questions and we
Yeah.
didn't see.
Okay, so we're gonna do
So-
Facebook is here, so we can do that,
Okay.
and they can ask their questions on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Perfect.
if you have questions, Instagram. If you have questions, YouTube. If you have questions, Instagram,
Facebook.
TikTok, Facebook. If you have
Yes.
questions, just ask
We
questions.
got everybody.
We're gonna start off with a little dissertation, and that dissertation is gonna talk about. Yeah, we're good there. We're good there. Okay. The slight dissertation. So let's start with Mrs. Dallas.
Me.
Tell us. Oh, did y'all see our shirts? Y'all see our shirts? Everybody see your shirts? Yes, Mrs. Dallas made these shirts. I told you she's got into the creative phase of her
I
life.
have.
She was just a regular person doing all her. Then all of a sudden she woke up and creativity was her new thing.
It really, I did. I woke up
That
and I
one
said,
day
you know
she's
what?
like, I bet I can make that.
I want to try that. So I did.
She made it. And so now we have t-shirts and we have all kinds of little stuff. And one day I'll show you this little thing. Those of you that watch the broadcast, y'all know that I do that. So anyway, let's get started. One of the reasons we're doing this is because we have a lot of questions that come up. Now, most of you see me most of the time. And when you see me, you don't see my wife and y'all think I make this stuff up, but I don't make it up. Actually, I am married to somebody.
And I'm in the room yelling, don't say that.
Yeah, or being so loud, whatever the situation may be. So today we're going to go into some of the things that we believe can help your relationship.
Okay.
That can help your relationship, and some of those things that. Who's over there? So you don't have to turn this. You have to keep this so you can see it.
Right.
Yeah, so you can see it.
It was good.
Yeah, but I want to see it too because this is here for me. That's why I kind of put it right there. That way it's not in the camera and I can see it. Okay, so anyway, nice. Yeah, no, they said nice. Your t-shirts are nice.
Thank you.
So, like what I was saying. So I'm watching the relationships that are happening right now, and there are two sides of relationships. Most of the relationships are either not operating in the level of maturity, or relationships are not operating in the level of reality.
Okay. I
Reality.
I can agree with that.
And so when we start dealing with reality, there are three things that there are five things that change a relationship. There are five ingredients to change a relationship: money, sex, religion, position, and I forget the
Communication. It's
yeah,
just
it'll echo.
yeah.
It'll echo. Yeah, we need to
There we go.
Money, sex, communication. There we go. Religion and position. Those are the 5 things. They tell you there's money, sex, and money, sex, and communication. But it's money, sex, communication, religion, our belief, and position. Those are the 5 things that are missing for a relationship. If you know those 5 things when you go into a relationship, you will begin to see your relationship at a different point. Right. And so what I'm watching is reality has not set in when it comes to the people that are actually in relationships. It's coming into when those people that have taken the time to say, okay, I want to do something, I want to be in a relationship, but are you thinking about those things? So there are 3 top characteristics.
And I think people don't really, they think about the immediate money, sex, and communication.
Okay, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, are you able to talk to each other? What does your credit look like?
Is that a big deal, though?
In the initial stages, that is a question that you ask. And I believe that because we asked that question.
But was that a game changer for us?
It wasn't a game changer.
But it is a question.
It was a question. It was going into the relationship knowing everything, having the full spectrum of what was going on.
Then that's correct. Then that's a good reason for that. Yeah. If you want to go into those things, and then the other side of that, though it's not important, if you feel like you need to hide it or you feel like you need not to share it because of the embarrassment of it, you probably aren't married to the right person anyway. You need to know. You need to know who that person is, and you need to know why that person is there and what's going on in that person. So
and you've heard, for us, we individually had some challenges when we got together, and so we had the full picture. We understood what it was going to take to get out of the place that we were in, and we dedicated to do that together. I took the lead on that, but she was still a plan.
She taught finance in her job. She taught finance. I had a level. My father never taught us to be working jobs. She had a level of understanding when it came to finance that I didn't have because she understood budgets and household. I have never, to this day, I've never purchased a house. I've never purchased a house in my entire life. She's purchased a house. I recently just purchased my first car, and that's been less than a year ago. I've never had to purchase those things, plus because of what I've been into. Sound like what I've been into. What I've been into. Do my thing. So I went into. So it was logical, and that's what we talk about. Position. Position is one of the 3 things that kill relationship. It was logical for me to allow her to do what she decided that she wanted to do. And why do I say allow? Now, when I say allow, y'all think I'm talking about over there. Allowance means we come to an agreement, and I say, hey, like the thing I said yesterday. I said, hey, let's do this. That's okay. Let's do this, this, and this. And she says, well, I want to do it this way. And I said, well, let's do it this way. Where I release my part of it that thinks we should do it this way, and I allow you to do it that way.
And again, that goes back to position, understanding understanding the strengths and weaknesses of each individual. And while you may both understand finances, as he said, I had a different perspective on it than he did. And so that meant we decided that I would take the lead on that.
You follow me?
So, and it, like we talked about it, when we talked about it last night, there was a time when he had to take the lead on it. And we just, that's part of the communication process. That's part of the fluidity of your relationship. Understanding when things have to shift and going with the shift instead of fighting it.
So question becomes, what happens when we have a challenge? You can't see the question, so I need to angle this. It doesn't matter. What happens when we have a challenge? What happens when you disagree with my side or I disagree with your side? What do we do then? Because that seems to be what has been the biggest thing.
The biggest
People
challenge.
believe that I'm right or I'm wrong. At what point, what's the criteria that determines whether which direction we decide?
And all I can do is speak for us.
Yeah.
Let's say, for instance, we were thinking about selling one of our cars.
Really? Really? That's how we're doing it?
Selling one of our cars, hypothetically.
Well, wait a minute. Hypothetically, wait a minute. Let's make it good. Selling one of the better cars that's probably faster, that has a better interior.
Right. So,
of the cars that we are going to sell.
So then
let's talk about that one.
The argument becomes,
discussion.
Why this car? Why not that car? This car has this. This car has that. I think this and so forth. But then, being mindful and respecting each other's opinion is the key. He has to be able to share what he wants to say, and I need to be able to share what I want to say. And at the end of it, the decision was made together because we had the opportunity to really sit down and hash out the pros and cons. The decision was made together. So my opinion was we shouldn't. His opinion was that we should. And in the end, when everything was said and done, we made the decision together about which one that we are going to divest?
Yeah. I'm doing this so I can see this. My part of it is I believe that we have to, when it comes to me, my thought is what's going to get us to where we got to get to. That's the whole thing.
What's the best thing for
the
next
group.
movement? Right.
Being one that's a little bit less emotional about connections to things than say I'm not.
Yeah.
Didn't say I wasn't. Certain things I love and I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to ever change them. But being less emotional, less attaching, and less prone to hoard, I don't.
Are you calling me a hoarder? We had that
prone.
conversation last night. I'm not a hoarder.
Less prone.
I'm not a hoarder.
She's less prone. Less prone to hoarding. So when you talk about that, then I go to, okay, what's our 5-step? Now let's look at this the way we do it. Okay, so first we have Kendra. The household is balanced because of my wife. While she was away, she had to take a vacation for a job. While she's away, she looks at it, she said, I'm going to work on our credit. Mm-hmm. So she goes on the task of working on the credit, writing the letters, knowing the thing, because she knows this world here. She knows it very well. I have never had to wonder how the house is going to do, what happens with the light bill, what type of insurance do you need for the house, who's going to clean the grass, who's going to shovel the snow. I didn't have to worry about that. All that stuff was either done for me or I lived in a place where I never had to. However, for me, I knew how to create wealth. I knew the next level.
Right.
Now, here is the challenge. Because I knew the next level, she made sure, because sometimes we get so far over here that we never understand the foundation of here. So I'm going, hey, baby, let's take $5,000, put it over here, $5,000, do this. And she's going, oh, that's cute, baby. But
slow you.
Yeah.
Breathe.
But we need gas in the car. And I know you are supernatural and God can bless you with gas.
Right.
But we need gas in the car.
Let's take a logical purview on the next move.
And so what happens is from that point on, we begin to look at the logic. And now listen to me, the logic and the rationality of moving forward.
Right.
Which means what she has done is valuable. And I must maintain the understanding that that's valuable. Don't get so high-minded in your relationship that you miss the value of the things that she does that may not seem like the big things, but they make sure the whole thing moves.
Right. That there's a foundation.
Exactly. And so within that, I had to learn to move toward the greater things by understanding what the value of the things that she did took place. Does that make sense?
Yes. I face 561.
Hey guys, what did you do?
I don't know. It was just. I'll get it back. Go ahead.
Hit the right there. What's that? What's the one? Shared it with them. Okay. Yeah. So now, the three things within. What are the three things we talked about? The three things to talk about. Let me. I'm going to throw some things out here because see, guys, I've talked to some of you before. I've talked to some of you guys before. Let's talk about some of those things. Okay, so let me give you a couple of scenarios. Scenario number one: husband. We had this conversation. Really? Husband wants. No. Let's not do that. That's not even a reality. Okay. Husband. Let's go boyfriend first. We'll go to husband. Okay, so I'm dealing with a young man, or you're dealing with a young man, and the young man doesn't seem to want to be. He's always critical of you. He's always criticizing of you. I already know what you're going to say, but you know I'm doing this for the people. He's always critical of you. He's always criticizing you. He makes you feel like you're not enough. How do you handle that situation? You love him now. You do love him. So that didn't make a difference. I tried to add you love him in there so it would give him a little bit of a leeway. But now, let me ask you this though, before you do that. Right. How important is just making realistic changes in the relationship? How important is that without emotion and making realistic changes?
Okay, so this is a boyfriend.
Okay,
this is a boyfriend.
Let's just say fiance. He's made a commitment toward us, which is a glorified boyfriend. So, pick what would you do?
He's degrading.
And
he talks down to me.
He talks down to her. Yes.
So that's mental abuse.
I don't think it's abuse.
It's abuse if you put someone down constantly and continually. So,
I don't think it's abuse.
Why is he a fiance? How did he get to become a fiance when he doesn't treat you the way that you want to be treated? Communication. Have you had a conversation with him about it? Have you shared with him without the emotional aspect of it? Like, this is the fact. This is what you do to me, and this is how I feel about it. We need to have a conversation about it. And if he has decided that that's not something that he's going to change, that's something that you have to suck up and deal with, then the decision becomes, is it worth it for you to deal with that? I don't think so. He wouldn't be my fiance.
Now, by the same token, I think I agree with my wife 100%, and there's no but to it and what if. The key to that whole situation is attaching too early. Attaching too early. A lot of times we get into relationships, and I say we because I've been in them myself. We get into relationships to fulfill a pain or something that's lacking in our lives.
Yes and no. So you and I have talked about this.
Yes, a number of times.
Over and over and over and over. We've allowed access for men that haven't earned the access.
Are you watching?
We have allowed them into.
Do you watch my videos?
I do. We have allowed them into a position, and this is my stance on it as well. In case
that's why we're together.
Those questions, does your wife believe the same way? I do. Allowing a man into the position of a husband before he has earned that position is what causes the detriment to your relationship, to yourself. You've allowed this fiance space in your life that he doesn't deserve. He's degrading you. He's putting you down. He's not helping the relationship move forward. He's in it for himself. You have basically become.
Go and say it.
Sex.
You're a booty call.
Right.
You're a booty call.
A booty call that he has under control because he has maneuvered himself into a position that doesn't belong to him. And once we allow someone into that position, it's very difficult to extract them from it because now your heartstrings are tied to it because it's a position that is supposed to be reserved for love and safety and trust. And so when you allow someone into that position, they are supposed to live there. They are supposed to become a part of who you are. But now you've let this joker in and you can't get him out because of the tie that you've created with him. And he doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve the love and the respect that a husband would get because he's not a husband.
I love something that she said that was really good. I love this part, and we need to remember to teach this even at Power Couple. The Kendra, I'm telling you this. When I tell you this, I'm gonna tell you how hot this is.
Okay.
She said the position for a husband is a position that remains. He's supposed to live. That's a living position.
Right.
That's a living position. That's not a temporary position. That's not a position for now. When you make a decision that you want this person in your life, that is a live-in position. And what has happened, you've taken temporary people and put them in permanent position.
Yep.
And now you're mad because he did something, or you had children by him, or you did something crazy, because in your mind you never attached yourself to the reason for that person to be in there.
Right. Right.
And it happens with religion. It happens a lot of times because she's right. Now, when you've connected, there are certain things, and I'll never forget this, and I tell this story all the time. My wife was in a situation when we went to church, and they said, "Has Kendra ever cursed you out?" I'm like, "What?" Because that's a weird question.
That wasn't at church. That was the family.
No, somebody at church said this, and I can tell you exactly what it was too.
Okay, all right.
And the family said the same thing. And I said, "What do you mean by that?" And they said, "You know what? We know Kendra's kind of hard to deal with." I said, "No, Kendra's not hard to deal with. She's easy to deal with." And they're looking at, "Well, not the Kendra we know." And I said, "You've never earned the softer side of Kendra. So why would Kendra show you something
that doesn't belong to you?
You've not earned.
Right.
It's not belong. Listen, stop letting men, and same thing with women, stop letting women get into positions because they have external qualifications and not internal attention, and not internal desires, intent,
right,
and not internal intent. So That's the number one thing. How does that happen? So you've gotten into situations that have happened. Now you're in it though. You're in it. You're in the relationship. What do we do now?
Just as hard as he fought to get in there, you've got to fight to get him out. You've got to start cutting those ties, and purge yourself from the madness, because that's what it is. You've allowed someone that doesn't respect you, that doesn't honor you, that doesn't treat you like you're worth anything, to be in a position of honor. That sounds crazy. That sounds absolutely crazy. And now you've got to fight to get him out of there, or get her out of there. We actually have some friends that are dealing with a marriage that just took place to someone that dishonors and disrespects the family as well as the husband.
Right.
And he doesn't see it yet. He's all in. His heart is all in there, and he doesn't see how badly she treats him, and how terrible she treats the family, and it's tearing them apart. And you've got to let him come to grips with that on his own.
Okay.
But he's gonna have to fight to get that person out of his life. It's like a disease now. It's taken part in your body that you've literally got to do surgery for and cut it out.
Now that's the boyfriend mindset. That's
Right.
the mindset of a person that you've attached to, and you've done it because of your power. Mm-hmm. What do we do? And let me say this before I go any further. Men don't attach the same way, and I want to talk about another one that we don't talk about. Men don't attach the same way. Yeah, sometimes I got to kind of do that. Men don't attach the same way that women do. Women will attach because with Kendra, it took Kendra, and I'm going to tell something about Kendra. Kendra doesn't like, to this day, she is like this.
What did I do?
My wife did not like people drinking after her. So the first time, I'm trying to be all sexy and cute. Hold on. I'm trying to be all sexy and cute, so I'm drinking up the water. I touched her glass. Right. She said that glass is yours now.
This is our first date. It's the only one that we had. It was 2 days after. Well, we met on Friday. We actually had a full-length conversation on Monday, and we went out to grab some lunch on like Wednesday because he was leaving Thursday.
Yeah.
So we're in the car, and I have a drink in the car, and we're sitting there and we're talking, and he's thirsty, so he picked my drink up and drank out of my cup. And I saw my cup.
She's telling a different story.
No,
that's a true story, but this is not the story I'm talking about.
Okay, well, I saw my cup raise, and your head slowly goes to and by the time he had his mouth on it, he said, "That's good." I said, "Oh, that's yours." He said, "You won't drink after me?" Oh, sir, no, absolutely not.
Now,
no,
that's a good story. That's a good story.
Which one are you talking about?
That is not married.
Yes, that was, again.
We're talking married now. We're talking married. She's better now. But the first time she fed something to me in the look at her face. The first time she fed something in the face and my lip touched the spoon. She's like, oh my God. She's like, what? Now, we're adults. These are the same lips she kisses. She does kiss me. I know, contrary to popular belief, my wife does kiss me. But these are the same lips she kissed me. But if I touch it on the spoon, because she was taught a different way than I was. I was taught it's impolite to put your teeth on the phone, on the spoon. It's impolite on anything. You use your lips. That's what your lips are for. You got grab it, snatch it off like a bear for my wife. So I'm doing the polite thing, thinking that she knows etiquette. She doesn't care about etiquette. She's OCD. Etiquette means Drew touch my spoon. That is now your spoon forever. There's no cleaning product that's going to get rid of it. It's your spoon. That is why we have her cup and my cup. Y'all understand? I don't drink in Kendra's cup. Or no, she doesn't drink out of my cup. Period. We are married. She doesn't drink out of my cup. Now, if she drinks something. I
have so many.
If she drinks something, she may take the lid off and drink it, but she won't touch my straw. But she will kiss me. And other things.
We all got a slight bit of crazy with us.
Not a slight bit. That's certifiable.
Listen,
it's the same thing. And then now.
It's not.
Okay.
It's
anyway,
not.
So that's not the conversation we're having today. That's not it, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not.
That's not the conversation we're having today. So let's continue the conversation.
Please.
Now, normally on Instagram, I would tell you guys to join me on YouTube, but this is the same thing that's on YouTube, so don't worry. You guys will have to go and just. Now, I want you Instagram. Go share this with 10 people. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the phone. Go share it with 10 people. No, this is Instagram.
Oh, that's Facebook.
That's Facebook. Go share it with 10 people. Go share it with 10 people. Come back. Okay, so that's the first thing. So now
everybody.
your relationship is already okay. You guys are married. You've been married for 5 or 6 years, and when did our relationship? We don't trying to see the questions.
Yeah.
Just tap that, and there's nobody there. It was
okay.
When did our relationship? I remember. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. When did our relationship get the flow where we actually I'm flowing with you, you're flowing with me. When did that actually take place? I know it wasn't year one.
Oh gosh, no, it wasn't year one. I think right because I don't know if he's told you the story that for the first year of our marriage we were in the house. It was just he and I, and so
this is killing me. Don't do that. I'll be right back.
What's wrong? Once our first year was over, and he went out and he began preaching again. I think is when our relationship actually started to flow like a husband and wife. The first year was fighting for territory, tug of war, while we're trying to establish who the Dallases actually are. While the fun part of the fighting was making up, of course, we were setting new ground, and we had teenage kids in the house, and so my mother-in-law was there. We had to do a whole new foundation of who we were as a family, as well as who we were as husband and wife. So I think right after that first year, once we left the house and began to travel, and like I said, my husband began preaching again, I think that's when we got into the flow of who we were as the Dallases.
That was his first year?
That was the second year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the second year was a good year. Mm-hmm. I really don't think we got into the flow of who. Well, no, she's right. The second year, I think we were the Dallases.
Yeah.
The flow of who we were. Now, I'm saying this for a reason. The flow of who we were came around the fourth year. Okay. And the reason I say that is because that second year is like, I love you, you love me, you're not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere. And then around, I think the third year is when you left.
No, I left 17 in the fourth year. So the third by the third year we had a solid foundation of who we were, and then fourth year I was gone for a year, and so everything shifted
because now I have to begin to be who I was outside of her.
Right.
And so now she came back.
Who he was is something that he had never been. He was now the single dad in the house with the 2 kids, the grandmother, everyone there now looking to him. He had to step into my position and take over. And then me being gone, I was by myself. I was single. I had no kids. No
Since when? How long had that been? That's almost
since I was 21.
She was single for 21. With your little hot self. She was hot too. She was hot.
Whatever. So from the age of 21 till I left in 2017, there was always something attached to me, someone attached to me. So when I deployed, I didn't, I was out of my element, still calling back and, asking him about this and this and that. He said, baby, I got it. I got it. And so, doing laundry for one, making sure one person ate, making sure one person had entertainment and things of that nature. It was just a whole different thing. And so now when I come home in 2018 and he has now taken over the
Now I have a system now. Now right? I have a system.
They're flowing.
Yeah.
And
now, this was important because now we were family in 2 years. We became a whole family at 4 years. Mm-hmm. Why? Because now I had outlived any doubt because I made sure everybody was okay because I love them like they're mine.
Right.
And so now me and the son are talking, the daughter and I have arrangements, the mother-in-law, everybody is now in their position where they're going, okay, we are now a family. Now Kendra can come back within that family and figure that thing out.
And Kendra comes back, and Kendra is having a difficult time reassembling into the family because it was so much freedom to take care of just me for a while. I haven't done it in years. And so we had to, again, adjust. Our marriage is a living situation that we have to change.
Constantly growing.
He changes, I change, and so then the marriage changes, and we have to figure out what the new norm is. Oh my God! Then we hit COVID.
Oh God! Now wait a minute.
Once we got on a smooth, even keel from me coming home after a year. I was deployed. I didn't leave my husband.
Right. She left me. It was another dude. She was by herself. She was doing that with little short mini skirts on.
So now we get that straight, get back to who we are now, and COVID hits. Because I was still going to work every day. You know, I'm leaving the house and so forth. And then, I had back surgery in 2019.
Right, so I
was home. So when COVID hit, I had already been home for about 5 months. But it was still a shocker. We couldn't leave the house. You know, we couldn't go anywhere. So again,
there was another step now. Yeah. Now I had to totally not only take care of the family, I now have to take care of her.
Right.
Now, let me point something out to you ladies and brothers. I need you to hear me. In year one, because I was out of my element, I came from Atlanta to Maryland to be with her. So I didn't have any relatives. There was no cousin, Pookie, Ray Ray Foot. I had a godbrother there that was Herb. He was a godbrother, but I didn't even really have any friends except Horace Tittle, Brother Tittle. And so now I'm in my outside of my element. I don't have escape. There's no escape plan for me.
You can't go anywhere.
So first I got the establishment of the family. My wife comes back. She had surgery. Now I got to do certain things for a person that can't do for themselves. Now that was the point where I became, and I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy when I say this, a mature adult in a relationship.
Right, because now you've got to understand the strength of each individual.
Exactly.
Me having been able to take care of myself for as all of my adult life, having to depend on my husband to help me do everyday routine things, you know, to get me up, to make sure I have my medicine, to make sure I eat,
make
to
sure
help
she
me
was
walk
clean.
around, right, to help make sure I'm clean every day. You know, that is something I got. What I don't need anybody to help me do that, and now I do. So the strength of understanding it's okay for me to be vulnerable right now with my husband and trust that he's not going to abuse or take advantage of this situation, but he's going to take care of me because he's my husband. That's the position that I was in. And then for him,
that was an earned position.
Right.
What she led, hear me now, even though we were married, let me break something down to you. Because he puts a ring on your finger, because I put a ring on her finger, if we don't become students of each other and earn the next level of position, that's why you got 15 years, all of a sudden he's out, or 13 years, all of a sudden he's out.
Right, when the kids are gone, because there was nothing keeping him there.
Didn't know
stayed
that.
For the children.
You did not know that. We talked about the hard situations. We talked about the hard issues. But fortunately, the way I believe God made it, we are stronger than relationships that are in their 15, 16 years. They said, how do you guys do this power couple thing? How do y'all do this? We were put on a track by God.
Right.
The things that you guys dealt with maybe in your 13th, 14th, 15th year, we dealt with in year 1 and year 2.
Right. It was the craziest thing because, you know, in year 2, I was like, good Lord, I feel like we've been married for 7 years.
And people said, how long y'all been married?
But
We've been
because
2
of
years.
the mandate on us and what our mission is, we had to experience all of that stuff at a supernatural level.
Fast.
Supernatural.
Why? Because I got to teach you guys, when you ask me a question, there are very few questions you can ask us that we have not dealt with. And I love when people ask me, well, I'm like, yeah. They said, well, we lost all of our money. And then he didn't know what to do. We're like,
been there.
Done that. Got the shirt. Matter of fact, we were in the shirt. And so now you ask us questions and they say, well, what's wrong? Too many times what you're dealing with right now is a woman.
It's hot as a mug in here. Why is it's all these lights? His office is extremely hot, y'all.
Want to lift the window up?
No, because then all the noise from outside. I'm okay.
Yeah.
So please don't mind my
because this water is just really not cold enough. Like,
it's hot in here.
This is cold as it gets.
All these lights. Woo.
So, but what I want you to understand, the one thing that has to take place in your relationship, if it does not take place, is maturity. Mm-hmm. You have to become mature.
Right.
You have to be in a position where you're mature enough to handle what the relationship requires.
Right.
Stop dealing with these little boys because his biggest thing is he wants to sag his pants.
And play video games.
If you are with a man, grown man, and the important aspect of his life is a video game, he's not studying the thing that's most important, and that's his wife. Now, if video games all right, everything is okay within moderation.
Okay. Right, in moderation.
But you have to realize if there are things that need to be done in the relationship and they're not done, and your go-to is video games, even if your go-to is like me, my go-to is getting on computers, trying to work this stuff out. Sometimes those go-tos have to be in a position where I'm mature enough to say time management.
Right.
I stay up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
I help him with that. Back. I know you've heard. You guys have heard.
Y'all probably heard that echo through the house.
Back.
Or the spiritual one, where she'll say it in her head, and I go, "What do you want?" She said, "I was just thinking about how." Stop. Don't leave that alone.
I love that.
Stop
one.
doing the. Don't do the spiritual mind melt thing. And she come in, and I go, "You hungry, right?" How'd you? What do you want? Who you want?
Let's go eat.
Studying that whole thing, being able to deal with that.
I can't see these questions. There's questions coming up over there.
Okay, being able to deal with, and put my thing right there.
Well, we need to see that. I want to go through those questions real quick.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do this like this. Where is my? You have to do this way, sweetie. I'm so sorry. What? It has to be in a position where you have to put something there to see the questions.
Well, no, I mean I can see the questions. I just can't.
We're going down there.
All right, so we're gonna take these questions here.
Okay,
and there's a lot.
That's far enough.
All right, don't mind my squint.
I don't think that's a question.
Okay, so no, they were talking about the scenario you gave me.
Yeah, they're just.
She's right. It's abused. Hi, beauty. Hello, everybody. Hello. My daughter's boyfriend used to do her like that. I hope she got out of that situation.
Fast, quick, and in a hurry. While she's going through those questions, everybody. Let me just say that. You got any questions? Just tell me. What?
Wow, the last thing he did to her was burned her in her face. I hope he's in jail, under the jail. Dang, I gotta go, dog.
He's sick from lead poisoning.
May he rest in peace. Oh, may he rest. I don't know about peace, but may he rest. Mm-hmm. Okay, told her I wasn't on because she's adopted. Oh, wow. He tried to tear y'all apart.
You do know you don't okay,
so
yes. Let me say this while she's reading through those things. Now, the key becomes, so why are the relationships acting crazy? You have to realize that you have to be in a position where it is reality and it is maturity.
Good evening.
In the first year that you cannot get into a relationship, I don't care what year one looks like, year one is not, does that say equally yoked?
Being unequally yoked leads each one in different directions.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay, you talk about that.
So unequally yoked has absolutely, now first of all, if you think unequally yoked is because we both don't go to church, to the same church, you're wrong. Church is not yoked. Church is like going to the same college. You can take different classes in college, but it does not mean that you guys are in the same school. I mean, going in the same direction. You could be taking law, and he could be taking rifle ranging. Equally yoked means I am into you, you are into me on the spiritual, mental, and physical level. Mm-hmm. That means we've come to a conclusion that we are going together in a direction. Equally yoked means you are yoked together. That means a yoke.
Carrying the weight of...
Where I'm weak, she's strong. Where she's weak, I'm strong. That's equally yoked. Stop thinking equally yoked because we go to the same church, because we both Baptists and we both Church of God in Christ. Some of the biggest tricks you'll ever fall into is tricks that happen while you're at church. Just something to kind of throw it out there. So equally yoked means we have cleared anything that obstructs us from moving forward between us. That's simple. Anything, mama, bruh, if you are daddy's mama's boy, shake that mess off, because the thing that's now important to you is your wife. Girls, I love daddy's girls, but what goes important is important to your life. Ladies don't do that as much as mama's boys. But anyway, it has to be said. So first of all, if he's attached more to his mama than he is to you, let him to his mama. If y'all not married, then he needs to marry. We saw some junk. My God, there is such a level of perversion with that little thing where you go, he's my little man, ladies.
No, he is not. That is your child. Go on, pick something else. No. Just do something else.
Ladies, listen.
That aggravates me.
I know. She turned red. We literally saw a woman treating her it looked like he was an 11-year-old boy like he was her boyfriend. There is a perversion that is taking place inside of relationships that is the craziest thing in the world. And some of y'all right here that are talking to us have fallen into it. Example, it's not your children. It's it's our children. It's not your child. And your job is not to protect that child. Your job is for you and your husband to protect that child. If you allow a man into your life, he is not have to respect the children if they're 30 years old. They are not children. They don't have to ever come to the house again. So why are you going, if you can't respect my children, you can't respect me. Now, I think everybody should get respect. I think everybody should get respect. But that should not be a criteria by which you don't connect with this woman that you love. And that should not be a requirement you put on a man. My children come first. You don't have no children. You have no children. You have adults. You've gone from, guess what you had? Let me show you how to do this. You're no longer a parent. You're a parental advisor now. My wife still has that challenge. Why? She wants to make sure. Hot water heater. She wants to make sure her children.
That's something different.
Yeah, see?
That's different.
What's different about it? He's a grown man.
But it's our house, not his house.
Well, has he paying rent?
Yes,
he's paying rent. Has he remodeled the house?
So that's a question.
Has he remodeled the house? He got lights. I thought this was a stripper's club. Yeah, right. We're the landlords. So yeah. I believe, I'll go with that. Yeah. But no, we have to let them solo. We have to let them solo. And some of your relationships are because you put the children first. Your children are not first. Your children are a part of you. And what happens is you're building a relationship. That's a nice bracelet that matches the cloth. She be doing the thing. You're building a relationship. You see that over there? Mm-hmm. You're building a relationship. The children are not first. It's an even keel. You learn how to train the children in the way that they should go. No, it's my job. I know you say that. I know that. But if you really pay attention to what's going on, he makes you and him. We're one. Mm-hmm. Brittany, Azarae, Darius, Brittany, Azarae, Darius, and Ross are our 4 kids, or 4 children. They are grown. They live their lives. They have their jobs. But we are now parental advisors and landlords. Mm-hmm. Stop putting people in the position where you're going, and this is men too. You are not important. My children are important. I'm just with you for the benefits. That's just the way that is. And why do we do that? We do that because we're holding on and we're looking for love from something that we can't get.
Right.
Now, where are we with
Tracy
that?
says she's been dating a man for 25 years.
25?
And I am now on a road to rebuilding my life, and I want to do it without him. How do I remove myself after all these years? We're not on the same level. It's just been comfortable. I'm no longer able to fake it. Okay, so...
You want a man's answer?
I'm gonna let my husband answer. No, you're not.
Yeah, no, that's yours. I'm out of that. Mm-hmm. I'm out of that. I'm like, there's a song that says these boots are made for walking. Yeah. And that is what they'll do.
Roll.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
And we say that.
Because we're not here now. We're not in it.
In jest, but if
were you saying it in jest?
In jest.
Were you really saying it in jest?
With these boots are made for rolling up. So, yes, because we're saying it like, it's just that easy
we're
to do.
Not there.
We understand
we're not
how
there.
vested you are, and we just talked about that. But if you are serious about getting yourself out of the situation, then start to make the necessary preparations.
Are you married to this person?
Nope. Dating. For 25.
Okay. Wow. There's so much to unpack. There's so much to unpack.
Yeah, that's a private conversation.
Yeah, where's our thing?
That we need to have. At the end, we'll give you the calendar.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get on the calendar.
That's so much to unpack.
We can kind of unpack that a little bit better.
What's going to take place, and I apologize, I don't want to sound insensitive. What's going to have to take place is you're going to have to take step by steps and detach certain things each time. You have to detach certain things each time, because most of your life in 25 years, the vast majority of your life, it has been attached to a specific position that it's like walking with a crutch for 25 years. After about a year, you don't need it, but you use it now as a way to offset or keep you balanced. And then somebody says you got to stop using the crutch. For the next couple of months, you're going to reach for the crutch, and you're going to try to grab the crutch. Why? Because that's what's been there for that long period of time. What you're going to have to do is slowly rebuild how you walk,
right?
How you live, what do you like? Right now, that's like I said, that's the flow we have. I know my wife likes beaches. Right now, and if my wife wanted to go somewhere, if I needed to go somewhere with my wife, and I wanted to surprise her, I know several places I can take her.
As long as I can get under the water.
You follow me? I know that, and we already know that. But after 25 years, if something happened to my wife, God forbid, and another person came, I've got to learn that person. You've got to learn who you are now. Because 25 years, you've not been you. You've been you with an add-on or an attachment.
And according to the question, a fake you. Because you've been dealing with that. So yeah, please get on the calendar and we can unpack that. Making
sons emotional, husbands in detriment.
Yeah, she's responding to what we said,
and that happens. And so what that kind of thing happens to take place. And what I want you guys to realize is, why do you keep hitting that button?
Because I want to see
if they just tap it in the middle if they say something. Here. Okay. Yeah, no, they tap them right there. That's what it is. And they're not saying anything. Yeah, but they're not saying nothing. Okay, let's do this very much. Where are we? Everybody type where you're from. Where are you from? Just, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, where you are. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask the questions now. So while you're doing that, while y'all typing in where you're from and those kind of things, okay, where you from and married, put a Y if you're married, put a N if you're not. Where you from, Y or N. Now, first thing we talk about, what are the three things you talk about for the
North Carolina, Tennessee.
Yeah. What's the first thing we talk about?
San Diego.
Maryland.
Welcome, Maryland.
Oh, you got Maryland. Yeah.
Okay. Texas.
All right. What are the three things? The
three things that are
detriment.
Communication or lack of communication.
Talk about that.
Understanding your positions.
That's where we're going. Understanding your position.
Okay.
Understand your position. So, as a man, hey Georgia, what's going on? As a man, you're supposed to be in the kitchen, butt naked and pregnant.
Pittsburgh
She didn't hear me.
Is married.
You didn't know nothing I just said.
What?
Good.
What?
As a single man, as a man married, you're supposed to be butt naked, pregnant, in the kitchen cooking.
As a man, yes, you are.
No. That's how we want our women, butt naked, pregnant,
North
kitchen.
Carolina. Hey fam, Mr. Focus. Hey.
What's up, Will? Family has to understand it is not about 50-50.
Right.
If you're going into a relationship, you go, man, it's not 50-50. Guess what, guys? It is impossible to be 50-50. There is no part of your relationship, there's no part of your life, there's no part of you that's 50-50. It is impossible. Well, no. When you start making money and external things qualifiers for your relationship, you got problems. Here's 50-50. If my wife decides to have baby, 50-50 means she cared for 4.5 months. I care for 4.5 months. Not gonna help it. And guess what? This don't help her. I got you, baby. Ooh, yes, we're going to make it. That is not helping her.
That is not equally yoked.
That is not, right, that's not equally yoked. That is not helping her. And she's pushing it. Her whole body is being mangled to get this baby out of her. And all you can do is like, push, baby. No, that's not 50%.
Push you, all right.
That's not 50%. You're not doing half of your job. Your part, you're not doing your part. Now, so that means from that point on, at the moment that she has a child, this is why she's attached to the child, because her hormones and everything are like, I got a video that I'm gonna send all of you when it comes to actually what the sex connection to a man does, what's inside of his of the DNA that he releases in your body. It's deep. Did you see that video?
I did.
You did? Mm-hmm. The one with the psyche?
She's killing him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. What happens when the semen goes into you? How it changes your DNA?
Yes, and how the body attacks and kills off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they kill about. Yeah. And so within that whole thing, so it's not 50-50. Then how is it? How do you determine what's in the household? How do you determine that?
Well, each person gives 100%, not 50%, first and foremost. But you give 100% in the role that has been designed for each of you. You reading the question?
Ooh, yeah, Mama. I put that right there.
Being able to forgive. Okay.
Who was that? Mama? Oh, Mama Nikki. Remember that thing you thought it said something?
Yeah.
Mama Nikki. I'm gonna touch on that, and I'm gonna help you. What's up, Anita? I'm sorry, I want to call you Annette. Is that Annette? Yeah, Annette right there. Yeah. I'm gonna touch on that. We're gonna touch on that.
Georgia, Greenville, South Carolina, North Carolina. So
how do you determine the position of the house? You determine the direction that you guys want to go. That's how you determine it.
That's it.
You determine where you guys want to go. You determine what you want to do, how you want to get there, and
what your strengths and weaknesses are, what's needed for the relationship.
That's a talk. That's a sit down and talk.
You being a great typer, if it doesn't bring money into the house, is it a needed position?
When she became creative and did her creative thing, and she started being more creative, just maybe in there.
Here, let me handle this.
I'm still half.
There you go.
No, what we need to do is move it back.
Right there.
That's
that
what
way.
Move it back. The cord
Turn it
is
that
the
way.
Yeah.
He's a great packer, but
So retarded. Okay. So we put this over here in the corner, and now
that way.
Turn it this way because you're still on the camera.
Right.
Ta-da! Now I'm still. How she got so much camera? That's what she got so much. You got so much camera. That's the problem. Yeah. Now sit.
There we go.
You got I know we got even camera. Okay. So
sorry guys.
Position is example. By the end of 2022, Kendra and I want to be in a position where we can help a million couples. 2022, that's the end of next year. We want to be able to help a million couples. I want to be able to help them in the spiritual walk because that is very important to the relationship. She wants that. So now, in the process of it, Kendra is better when it comes to proofreading. She's critical. She makes me feel terrible. I'm teasing. She's better when it comes to proofreading. I'm creative. I mean, boom, I can say something, think of something. She's that. So all of a sudden, she becomes creative. T-shirts, mugs, all kind of stuff she's learning to do.
And now he's critical.
Now I'm not critical.
Oh gosh.
I am not.
Oh
really?
My gosh.
I'm not critical. Mm-hmm. That's a spirit. That's a spirit. So
no, he's
but she's right because I was an artist, so I'm critical, but I'm not critical because I don't share all the things I know about her thing because she has to get her rhythm. She doesn't have a rhythm yet. Kendra should be able to grab a shirt, zip it out, pop it out, iron it on, and not go through all the processes she's going through with the mic going all the way over there. Why do you keep wanting to move my mic? Leave my mic
because it's
alone.
in my face.
Okay, that's your face up there. All this,
it is in my face. It is here.
This is the face up there. This is not your face. Okay, now better. Thank you. Can I finish? Okay.
This is how we argue.
Yeah.
I'm about y'all.
Now the mic is in my face, but we're trying like that.
Because that's why I put it there.
But then I am feeling like I'm yelling over there instead of over here, and it's closer to you.
They hear exactly.
No, not happening. Not happening.
Exactly.
Nope, not happening. So, to continue what I was saying.
Please, continue.
You have to figure out where you're going. So now I say I want to reach 1 million people and 1 million relationships. So what do? I put together mentoring courses. I put together mentoring classes. I do all these things. So she then becomes creative. Once she becomes creative, now her creativity pours into our destination.
Right.
There's nobody there. Leave that alone.
There's 2 people.
They're not there. They because that's why I said about to type that thing. So we see who's there. Then she becomes a part of the other part. So if we say we're going to reach 1 million people, my wife decides she wants to make T-shirts. Guess what happens now? Well, we take the T-shirt and we merge it into it. If she decides she wants to do cups, we take the cups and merge it into it. Mm-hmm. I have to give her a level of trial and error, so that when I said make a shirt, she can make a shirt like this. She can go zip, 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 and it'll be done in 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Now it takes 4 days.
Not 4 days.
3.5 days.
It does take me a little bit of time.
What? I don't see her all night long.
Days.
So that becomes position.
It's done in a day.
It's position all night, 24 hours, all night. It becomes position. So that becomes a position. So now what's going on with you is you have to get out of the mystery of 50-50, get out of the fantasy of marriage. Some of you need to realize marriage does not need to be a $13,000 wedding. It needs to be focused on destination. We don't have destination. And when you understand that, you find yourself moving in areas that are more prevalent to destination.
And I want to touch on that because the marriage is not the most important part. It's simply a ceremony to get to the marriage. So the wedding, I know several people that have placed so much emphasis on the wedding. I gotta have this, and I gotta have this, and I gotta have this. Do you have a savings account? Do you have a plan for a car? Do you anything other than flowers that are gonna die the same day?
Wow.
A dress that you're only gonna wear one time. People that you want to show off for that don't care about your well-being and don't speak into your future.
Not a bit.
Now, we had a wedding. We had a very nice ceremony. We had a very simple ceremony. It didn't cost us $13,000 to have this wedding, but it was still a nice wedding.
It was a very nice wedding.
And I do not not
begrudge
misunderstand.
you. I don't begrudge you.
If you wanna do that and you've got the money to do that, by all means, enjoy your wedding. It's just one day in your marriage. But people are spending this ridiculous amount of money to get married to someone that they divorce in 3 months. That they try to annul the wedding, annul the marriage because all you wanted was a wedding. You can play wedding. You can have parties constantly. Throw parties. Don't dedicate your life to someone in front of God and community that you don't really want to be with to have a wedding. Throw a party. It's cheaper.
If we're to give one piece of advice when it comes to relationships, it's reality. Mm-hmm. What is the reality of your life? What is the reality? Right. And when you understand what's the reality of your life, then you understand how you live from that point on. So let me give you some transparent stuff. The reality of my life is I came into my relationship with my wife. She was making more money than I was. The reality of her life was I'm going to be okay with that, but that cannot always be.
Right.
It bothered her, which she shared. It wasn't a situation where she was sitting and slowly dying inside. She let me know this is not comfortable to me.
Right.
Got it. The key became, what's your plan, honey?
What's our plan?
No, what's your plan?
What
now?
I mean, and we talked about all of that before
right.
rings were bought. Before we sat down. We Skype 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day.
For 3 months straight, we talked about
everything.
The only thing I didn't know, because I probably was asleep while we were on there. He snores. Jesus, he snores.
Now, here's what's interesting. I've been snoring the whole time.
Not a deal. No, I'm talking about before we got married. That was what I was
snoring the time, and you were sleeping, and we were fine. But now you come back from Kuwait, and all of a sudden snoring is just the worst thing to your mind.
It is.
See,
It's
That ain't nothing to me.
Fingernails on the chalkboard.
It's not nothing to me. But look, she snores as well.
But anyway, the point was...
No. I want you to hear this. She snores as well.
I do.
I have adapted. I will adapt because the human body will sleep if you let it sleep. But if you concentrate on any one thing, it changes the whole mentality. That's why I don't watch TV. When I go in the bedroom, it's bedtime.
Yeah, we don't
you
have
have
a TV.
to create a habit of that. When you go into bed, it's bedtime. Cut off the lights. Make your brain know it's time to cut off. When she comes in, it's cut off. Now, she still deals with some of the things that she does to help her sleep. Mm-hmm. And that's to do with some of the things that happen when it comes to the military. But anyway, so the bottom line becomes your position is your destination. What's your destination? If you don't have a destination, you said, I've dated for 25 years. Why? Where were we going? Because if it is not a destination, it's a pacifier. It pacifies something. Mm. If it's not a destination, right now, we're sitting here. The destination is to get you to have as much information necessary to help you get to the next level of your relationship. So we go ask questions. You don't ask questions, you don't have a destination. If you have a challenge and you don't ask questions, you don't really want to fulfill that destination. That's because I'm shaking this head. Yeah, that's because I'm shaking this thing.
We had a malfunction.
Yeah, you don't really have a destination. So what's the destination? And that's with anything. Don't go to church and don't have a destination. Don't go to work and don't have a destination. Don't get in a relationship and don't have a destination. Right. All those things require a destination. And so when I'm with somebody in business, when I'm with my wife, it's a destination. Now, I'm critical because I'm going, why are you playing the video game when we could be reading a book? Why are you doing that? Why? That's William. That's how he was raised.
Right.
If my dad told me to cut the grass and I go, when I finish watching this television show, I would be speaking with a lisp today.
All of this would be
this be gone. None of this would be real.
Here.
Right. Oh, you wouldn't go if I had no teeth?
Oh.
Teeth is a deal breaker? Oh. Teeth, guys. Not short. Teeth. Teeth are a deal breaker.
Woo.
So, that's so sad. That is so sad. Teeth are a deal breaker. That's so wrong. That is so, I don't know how I feel about that. Teeth are a deal breaker. But anyway, that being said.
We can get those, but I mean,
Yeah, but
you had to have a lot of personality. Just
teeth.
Truth, y'all.
She said no teeth. I got to have a lot of personality. Ha 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 ha. You got to do some magic. You got to be able to do some other stuff if you ain't got no teeth. That's crazy. That is so crazy. I saw a question about singles. Is there going to be a singles conference? I'm trying to get Kendra to do a women's conference just for women.
Working on it. Y'all are putting us to work, guys. We're doing the power couple, and we got the spiritual retreat. We've got the doing the mentoring class for me, right? And but then we also have the dive trip in September. So trying to fit that in
summer,
between,
when the
fit
snow
all
goes
of your
away,
requests in there.
When the snow goes away, it's going to be off the chain. I forgot we could do that. When the snow goes away, it's going to be off the chain.
Yeah. So I will get back to you on that. And then you want a women's mentoring. You guys are putting us to work. So give us a little bit. We're working out next year's stuff now.
Any more questions? I don't see
anything.
Is there a class for singles? I'll put something together so my wife can start putting some things into action for singles. Mm-hmm. Because I have the mentoring class if you want to get. Because I think
Judy, they trying to work us. Yes.
Really, Judy? Seriously,
yes,
Judy? This is what we're doing? That's how we're doing this?
It's okay.
That's how we're doing this?
We accept the challenge. You just got to give us a little bit of time.
We accept the challenge.
It's we.
Okay. So let's I'm going to give y'all some deep stuff that when we get out of here by 9:15 we're going to be gone. Let me give you some very deep stuff. Okay. Number one, there is an attack against relationships. And the reason there's an attack against relationships is the most powerful organism that God has ever created is man and woman together. Mm-hmm. Not man and man, not woman and woman. Man and woman together. It is powerful. You have an automatic agreement. You are the presence of God. Man is the structure of God. Woman is everything wonderful about God. Woman has a direct connection to God because she is the only being that can produce a human into this world. So that is an agreement that God has with women. Man is structure. God gives us ideas, structure, witty inventions to build stuff. And let me tell you why he gets us to build stuff. He gets us to build stuff to make the life for what God has created, the woman, better.
Right.
That's the only reason we build. That's the only reason. And see, what happens is we've lost that because you guys or women, well, this generation has shifted from being a woman I love and a man I honor to big butts and money. That's you've been shifted from how many likes you can get on social media, and he's been shifted to how much money he can hold on his head and talk like he's having money. So now we've become the pimps and y'all become the prostitutes.
Wow.
And that's just the way it is. Because right now you have a price tag on you. They're doing the gold digger thing. You have a price tag. And the reason you have a price tag is you never realize your value. My value is not being emotional. Men can cry. That's not my value. Because I can access something doesn't mean because I use it, it makes me value. Men don't have that value. The most valuable commodity that I have is my ability to access the greatness that's inside of my wife. And vice versa. So there is an attack. There should have been 1,000 people on here today. There should have been 1,000 people going, how do I get to this next level? How do I find the right man? How do I, you guys ask me these questions how do I find the right man? How do I get out of this relationship? How do I like myself again? You now have her sitting here. My wife is sitting here.
This doesn't happen often, guys.
It doesn't.
2 days in a row.
It doesn't. And so she's sitting here going, shake it, Allison. Don't break it. She's sitting here going, what's the challenge? We were love at first sight. How did y'all do it? What did y'all do? What did y'all plan? What happened? What didn't happen? How do we make that happen? Why? Because the struggle is going to get more intense. It's not going to get easier.
Right.
When the metaverse comes and people can live inside a computer and be whoever they are and deny the fact of who they actually are. What's the thing called? Ghosting or whatever the other thing, or catfishing. All that stuff is going to come to another level. And if you are not spiritually discerned, if you're not learning how to connect to the person that you love above what she can give you or what he can give you or how good they are in bed, you're going to see relationships go to an all-time low. You've not seen divorce yet, but there's no requirements on your life. That was when you walked off the stage and let me know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any questions?
I thought I had the right man until after 13 years you found someone else to invest in.
Now, let me ask you a question. So, that like that statement right there, Queen Pen, that statement. So, how do you feel about that? Do you think it's all his fault? What would you tell? Okay, what would you tell a woman?
A relationship is two-sided.
Okay.
A relationship is two-sided, and
no disrespect to you, Queen. We're using you as an example.
A relationship is two-sided, and again, I cannot say enough about communication. Because if you haven't stood up for your side of the relationship, you haven't expressed your opinions, your thoughts, your concerns. Now, I mean expressed, not nagged, not whined, not complained, but shared and what you wanted, what you expected to get out of it, how you wanted things to play out, and sat down and had that conversation with your partner. They don't know. They're not mind readers. They may take your lack of input as lack of interest, lack of, wanting to be, lack of, love or respect for them. Until you sit down and actually have a conversation, you don't know what the other person is thinking. That my husband tells it to you all the time. Study your partner. Know what this, the wink of the twitch of the eye, the roll of the eye, the stomp, the huff, all of those things are telltale. We all have tells. And if you study your partner, you know what that means. If you haven't invested that time, it's a two-way street Maybe he didn't think that,
You cared.
you cared, or, maybe you didn't show that you cared because you were protecting yourself. We can't really, say because we don't have all the information. But, sit back and step back and take a look and examine your relationship. Did you do everything that you possibly thought you could do to make that relationship work? And if you can say with a definitive yes that you gave your 100% and it didn't work, then be satisfied in that knowledge that you've done everything that you can and prepare to move on.
I like that side. Because I'm saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. What did you do? Two things that ladies you have to be very careful of. Number one, who you invite into your place. We talked about that yesterday. I wish I had my little 3 circles: the outer court, the inner court, and the holies of holies.
Here?
No, it's not on there. Matter of fact, it's on the wall over there. It's on that wall of the thing. What do you do to attract? Cat Williams did a little joke. He said, if you keep getting a certain kind of man, maybe you got that certain kind of man attraction. We'll just say, look it up. Cat Williams. It's Cat Williams. How come you keep attracting the same kind of guy? Maybe you're broken and you haven't fixed your brokenness. Mm-hmm. Maybe you've taken down the wrong walls, and the walls that are necessary, the walls that aren't necessary, you left up. Maybe if you're broken, you find yourself in the position where you're going to attract scavengers. You're going to attract opportunists, and you're going to attract scavengers, opportunists, and predators. Whatever. Mm-hmm. Scavengers, opportunists, and predators. So that's why I really encourage you, number one, to get your spiritual mind, get your spiritual self together, because you can discern those things. And the second thing, get figured from those things. The young lady said she can't forgive him. Well, forgiving him is not a mental act. Forgiving is not a mental act. Forgiving is a spiritual act. Mm-hmm. But forgiving and restoration are two totally different things.
Oh my God. In the vein of forgiving, I was on the phone with someone the other day, and they had been holding on to hatred and bad feelings about someone that they thought that they actually forgave. They said the words, and went on with their life. And now this is a spiritual encounter that took place with God, and he actually showed this person that you had not forgiven him. Now I need you to actually hand that off to me. Give it to me and let it go. And when I spoke to this person after the encounter, I could hear the peace. So the forgiveness is not for the other person. The forgiveness is always about us. It eats at us. It takes a hold on us, and it causes sickness. It causes worries. It causes, all types of dysfunction in our body, because it's not something that we're meant to carry. So get into a place where you can, first of all, forgive yourself, and then forgive that person. You'll feel so much better. This person that I spoke to, I could feel it. I could feel the peace. I could feel the release. Just the conversation was completely different than it had ever been before. And so I knew that forgiveness had actually taken place. So do that for yourself, not the other person. Do it for yourself so that you have peace. You got more questions?
He said, I did do everything mentally and emotionally. His words were for years, and he didn't care.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Believe it. I promise you. Who was
believe them.
Who was the poet that just passed, the black woman? That was her line. She said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe it. Maya Angelou. Mm-hmm. She said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe it. And when you believe it, you adjust accordingly.
Right.
That's just the bottom line. Because let me tell you a little secret, ladies. I'm gonna just help you out. No man is totally mean. No man is totally, what's the new word? Narcissist. No man is totally like that. Every man has a place where he wants to release good to you, or release good. It just may not be to you.
Right.
It may not be to you. Every man has a cycle. His cycle is 90 days. Your cycle is supposed to be however many times long the woman's cycle is, and it stays a mental cycle. Right. A man's cycle is 90 days. If in 30 days. If within 30 days a man does not move towards you to get some type of physical gratification, then he's getting it somewhere else. I'm just telling you from personal experience. So you have to have your qualifiers.
Hey, Kansas City.
What is your qualifiers? What are the things that are, and then back to men. Guys, we got to get to the point that we make decisions in our lives. We got to stop attracting to as soon as we get to a point where we're making a little money, we grabbing anything that our fantasy says, oh my God, I'm getting the this with the this and the this and the this. And then they use us and abuse us because now you broken. Then you go to the woman that you should have went to in the first place.
And give her the leftovers. And
you give her all the broken pieces. And ladies, you do the same thing. Right. You get into the situation, and now, all of a sudden, now you don't want to have sex. You done slept with this boy on the back of woods and the tree, on the what's the name saying, on the window, from the window to the wall. Then you get to the man that loves you and that's really respecting you, and you take all this baggage and you give him a bag of junk that he now is required to go through and define where you are.
Right. That's one of my sayings. About the 10 virgins.
Oh yeah, from the wasted oil.
The wasted oil.
Mm-hmm. And that's what happens. 5
were wise, 5 were unwise. The unwise were out in the streets, hanging out, giving all their oil to whoever wanted some oil. And when the time came for the one that was meant for them, they had nothing left to give them. Asking someone else to replenish them.
So what do we do? What does a woman do right now to maintain her oil? We got single girls out here that go and they want to be in relationships. Let me give you one thing from a man, then I'm going to let my wife talk about this. One thing from a man, there's the difference in confidence and arrogance. Mm-hmm. Be your best self for you. I was teaching in my mentoring class and I said this. I said, your giving is based on the origination, not the destination. Mm-hmm. Your giving is based on your origin. Your giving is based on the origin, origination, and not on the destination. Now, what I mean by that, if I give my wife a kiss, I don't give my wife a kiss purely on the fact hoping she'll kiss me back. Mm-hmm. The origination is the fact I wanted to give her a kiss, and so when I give it to her, I don't expect anything in return. When she kisses me back, it's a benefit. You need to fix and heal and get yourself together. And I'm going to see if I can get Kendra to do a mentoring class maybe once a month and fix some of those broken places. And sometimes you got to just snatch the tooth out.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It's going to hurt regardless. But sometimes you need to snatch the tooth out. But there's a difference between arrogance and confidence. And what you have to realize, if you don't fix your broken places, you are attracting these men. You can't get mad at them if you're walking around limping and all of a sudden the predator looks at you like, okay, there's this thing called fatting. Fatting. I just saw this. That's where you go after big women because you know they're insecure. You get everything from them, then you leave them. Some of you are dealing with guys that are saying, you're broken enough that I can now approach you, get what I want, then go to the next person.
Take the rest of what you got.
And suck that thing from you dry.
They're out there.
That's because you haven't gotten to the place you were. If you feel like your physical is what's attracting a man, rethink it, sweetie. Because there's somebody with a bigger butt, nicer breasts, longer hair. There's something deeper inside of you that attracts. There's a passage that says, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. Mm-hmm. So my advice to you, and I'm going to let my wife talk, is get yourself healed and take care of yourself for you.
Right.
That's it. That's what I would say if you came to me and said, what's one of the things that you need to tell single women? Get yourself healed and take care of you.
Right.
When he sees you.
As women, we wear so many hats. Mom, sister, cousin, auntie, best friend, girlfriend, wife, whatever your status may be. And then you have your work stuff that you wear. And a lot of times we forget to figure out who we are. I was mom. I was Darius and Azure's mother. I was coach this and this and this. And then at work, I'm Chief Dallas and this and the third. And when I met my husband, I had just begun to figure out who I was. And so he helped me with that process. What do you like? What are the things that you like? The things that you never actually sit down and take time to think about because you're thinking about everybody else and what everybody else needs. We are last on our own list. You need to put yourself first on your list. Figure out what you like. I go to a particular store to buy things that I like and he appreciates. But I like them for me. They make me feel a certain way and he appreciates them, which makes him feel a certain way. So it's a win-win on both. But it's something that I do for myself that he gets the appreciation out of. So something so simple, because when I met him, we were doing laundry and he was like,
Hold
what
on, ladies.
in the world?
Ladies, we're grown. Mm-hmm. I'm not a lingerie person. Mm-mm. Oh, whoa. Mm-hmm. Pause that. I was not a lingerie person. If I was to have anything I wanted consistently, it wouldn't be lingerie. Right. However, I'm not mad if every once in a while I get to drive the Ferrari. Right now, treat yourself the way you want to be treated, meaning you do that. So when she brought things out, she began to bring things out. I have there's one little outfit she can wear, and it's not very complicated. But imagine you going into that one little outfit, and she takes that one little outfit down to the next level. And that next level is like, bam, like, oh, wow. Why? Now, in her mind, she's going, I like this, but is he going to like it? Is it a big deal? No, because I still like it. I'm comfortable in it. Mm-hmm. But when she says, look, and I'm going that, because somebody likes presentation. I'm not going to go into the depth of the presentation. Somebody likes presentation. So they'll walk in the office while I'm on the live and go, are we eating lunch today? I'm like, really? That's how we're doing this? This is what we're doing while I'm live?
You all have been there before.
A number of times. But that's the taking care of that. And now, and I study that because I know something. This here, I didn't know this till later. She didn't have on. Normally she has on bangles. Mm-hmm. She likes bangles. I didn't know that. She told me why she liked bangles. That was for her. They just loud to me. Now, they look beautiful on her, but that's not for me. She didn't buy bangles. She doesn't buy bangles for me. Right. So when she does those things for herself, and I told you, Kendra is not materialistic. So I can say, here, take $5,000, and Kendra gets some simple stuff, and that simple stuff she'll get, and she'll get stuff she likes. Mm-hmm. You have to get to the like you part, not the lust you part.
Not the impress.
Ray.
Yeah, not the impress anybody but me. I buy this because I like this. I like the way I look in this. I like the way this makes me feel. Pamper yourself. Date yourself, which is something that I had a hard time doing. Date yourself. Go to dinner. Take yourself to dinner. Treat yourself like you want to be treated, so that you get accustomed to that level of satisfaction. And when someone comes along that doesn't meet that level,
and sometimes they go, what type of food do you like?
Right. Now, and sometimes, he's trying to get there and he may not be there at that point in time. And that's a whole different situation.
We have a goal.
But when you're involved with someone that is supposed to treat you with respect and honor and treat you how you want to be treated, and they don't, that's something to look at.
And sometimes that's your requirement now. Right. If you've not set up, listen.
If you accept McDonald's,
lowers the McDonald's
instead
of
Morton's, yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, you guys got to answer this. Instagram, you got to answer it. YouTube, you got to answer it. TikTok. I have a mature example. Mm-hmm. Can I give the mature example? I want to hear a yes. I'm not going to do it if I can't, because I don't want everybody to start trying to get me come up. But there is something that I want to example. Y'all give me yeses, I'll do it. I want to see yeses on TikTok. I want to see yeses on Instagram. I want to see yeses on Facebook. I want to see yeses on YouTube. But I'm going to share something with you that one of the friends I married them. I'm a minister, in case y'all didn't know that. I saw yes there. I saw yes there. I didn't say no yeses on Instagram. Yes, I didn't say no yeses on y'all.
There's a yes on.
Uh-huh.
What
Joy,
about YouTube? YouTube, can we get a yes?
YouTube, can I get a yes?
Because I'm curious to know what he's going to say. Does my yes count?
Yes. But you can't type you can type your yes.
I can type. Look, I can type my yes.
She type her yes in. Yeah, she types her yes. Okay, so we got it. Wow, that was quick. Now, I still ain't. Okay, there's
There's
my.
a yes there.
Where's my YouTube yes?
I put the YouTube yes.
It's, where y'all at? What my YouTube people? This is my people.
Judy hit me a yes.
So, a young lady comes to me and, look.
Hey, thank you, bestie.
Oh, whatever. A young lady comes to me, and after she does the wedding, she gets married to this other man. Once she gets married to the man, she calls me up, and she goes,
"You got yeses on you."
Okay, good. Thank you, YouTube. She has yeses on. Yeses. She has yeses. She has yeses. So she comes to me and she says, "Hey, thanks, Judy, for being there." She comes to me. She says, "Listen, I have a problem." And I said, "What's the problem?" She said, "The problem is," and she ends up divorcing this guy. And I said, "What's the problem?" She said, "I cannot. My husband is doing all these crazy things, and I don't know why." And I'm like, "What crazy things?" What was happening was he's walking around the house butt naked. Talk about, you want this girl. You know you want this. He's doing the, I'm the finest thing on 2 feet kind of thing. And I said, "Why is he doing the finest thing on 2 feet kind of thing?" She said, "I made him feel as though he was more than he was." And I said, "What do you mean by that?" She said, when the intimacy happened, she said, "I made him feel like he was more than he was. He wasn't satisfying me, but I made him feel like he was." Why are you laughing?
Just go ahead.
Why are you laughing?
Am
I not satisfying you?
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, I'm just saying, because you looking like, I know what that's like. No. Like, what the heck?
No.
And so what the problem was, she was trying, hear me ladies, she was trying to create a man that she wanted from a man that couldn't be it. She was trying to create a man that she wanted. So she wanted a different kind of man. So to make sure she made him feel okay, she was telling him lies so he could become the man she wanted, because she was trying to make sure he was confident in all these other things. Now, he wasn't. He was nowhere close to it. He did not satisfy her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not at the TikTok.
Oh, I thought you were going to. He did not satisfy her. Ladies, the power you guys carry is so potent, you can change the very course of a person. But you have to be real with what you want in your destination. And that's because you have to introduce things to your reality.
Okay. And
it better not be me.
Stop.
It's me, ain't it?
It's you.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I'm just supposed to
So, unfortunately, yes, the young lady was wrong. Okay? Because she never gave him the opportunity to show her what he was capable of doing and how he was capable of pleasing her. Now, she is basing her experiences on other people. And that's hard not to do. But when you come into a relationship, you got to let all that other stuff go. So my husband and I, we studied each other. We learned each other. We talked.
Hello, daughter.
We talked about what we liked, what we didn't like, what something maybe that I had experienced that he hadn't, and vice versa.
Hold it. We did not go into everything. There were still things that were left to chance and to experience.
But we did talk about the experiences that we had in the past.
Exactly.
And what we liked and didn't like.
Nobody counts.
And then
nobody counts.
We did not share body counts.
We do not do body counts.
It's
you're not that person anymore.
It's detrimental.
Yeah,
right?
You're not that person
Old
anymore.
things are passed away.
That's good scripture.
And then we took the time to explore each other. There were things that he didn't know that he liked because no one ever had shared that with him. There were things that I didn't know that I liked.
Hallelujah. That's a hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Because no one had ever, we never were intimate. I've had sex.
She's never been married.
Not intimate.
Now,
right.
Kendra's never been married.
Right.
Okay? So, marriage has a different level. So, Kendra's never been married. I've been married before. So, by her not being married, there was never a level of freedom. Even when I was married, there was never, because mine was, the pastor said do it, I did what the pastor said. There was never a level of freedom. Mm-hmm. Do you, ladies, if you are single and you are having sex with men that you are not married to and you are attaching to, there is nothing like being in love and connecting to somebody that you really have freedom to. And you don't have to worry when he leaves, is he with somebody else.
Right.
It is a level of liberty that is out of this world. The most of the people that have the challenge is you never let your heart all the way. I'm talking about married couples now. You never let your heart all the way in. She was there, I was there.
Yeah.
And I told the story the other night, yesterday. We woke up one time and wasn't sex. It was just laying there, and we looked at each other. I'm looking at her like, wow, she's not gonna leave. This is like my wife. She's like not going anywhere.
We call those moments either a husband moment or a wife moment when, because of the things in our past, if something happens and it's just like a wow moment, that's a husband moment, and you need to share those with your spouse when you have those. We are still experiencing. We've been married 8 years. We're still experiencing
new
first
stuff. First time I've never
that we've never done or we've never done as a couple. We share those things. We celebrate those things within our marriage. That simple thing, saying, "Oh, I'm having a husband moment. I'm so glad I'm married to you." That's communication.
She will come
Something
and
so
hug
simple.
me, just hug me, and just hug me. I'll go in and come in, lay in her lap. Why? Relationships have gotten so diluted that we don't really understand how important it is to allow ourselves to be intimate or into the other person. My wife, I study Kendra Dallas. Now, I don't study her as much as I did when I first met her, but I study Kendra Dallas. I touch her because she's soft. I look at her. I smell her. My wife likes aromas. I got like 13,000 colognes in my closet. My wife likes aromas. So I literally get up, take a shower, spray the cologne on me, and lean over her and say good morning sometimes.
He leans over so I can smell it.
And then she smells me and she'll wake up and she goes, hey, it don't always wake you up. A lot of times, it doesn't always wake you up.
Yeah.
But it's those things. A lot of relations lose the dexterity because you stop doing the thing. Listen, I know he doesn't feel like the person he used to, married couples, but you have to push past your physical because that's not the connection. The spiritual and the mental are the connection.
Right.
Kiss him. Hold him until the pain that you had goes away. Right. Hold him. And now, we're talking about good husband. I'm not talking about crazy people. If he's a good husband and he's made some mistakes, and I mean mistakes where he maybe made you upset or angry. I'm not talking about infidelity and all those types of things. And hold him. That's another teaching. So hold him. Hold her. Be in her presence until she feels like she's connected. Right. Sometimes just sit there. You want to sit down. Just sit there. She's going to fall asleep. She's going to wake up. Just sit there. And guys, we got to get past ourselves. And this is me kind of repenting to my wife. She wants to do yoga. She wants to walk. But my wife is a walk monster. She just goes into this whole other world. And we walking through woods like we're trying to chase bears. But we have to start making ourselves available to what makes them feel okay about being in the relationship.
Right.
I saw a question.
Oh, she said that's the beauty of marriage. Love it. Yes.
Somebody asked me a question. Asked the
question.
Awesome. Yeah. Other women.
A whole new world. It is. Marriage is a whole new world.
With other women in the past. Where would that come from? My husband said. What did he say?
He thought what I wanted weren't things he should do with his wife, but he did them with other women.
Is that a thought? Who is that a thought? He thought that, or was that she? Was that? Hello, Levy, daughter. How you doing?
You went down too far.
I know. I was seeing something. I'm trying to see if she started the conversation somewhere else. Okay. And with other women in the past. Whole new world, baby boy. Okay. But now you got to be very careful with things like that. And that's another thing that happened. I've never been to a strip club. I did an interview one time with a bunch of guys that had been to a strip club. And they utilized the strip club as a way to be aroused enough to get with their wives. I really had a problem with that because I'm going, is she not there? Why do you need an outside stimulus for that to happen? And I realized something now that I'm married. If I involve anybody else in my relationship, if I find dark-skinned women that wear bikinis and do whatever they do, if I allow that into my psyche, the requirements then become on my wife. And when she can't do it, then all of a sudden I've lost a step toward her because I'm putting something in our lives that has absolutely nothing to do with our relationship.
Right.
And so when I realized that in the midst of that, I had to keep my mind clear. Now, I still got to work on it because my mind does not leave our monthly obligations, my relationship obligations,
Right.
my organization obligations. And if they do, then I find myself in a position where I got to shift because my wife is going, I need you. But now because I left her in the forefront, my wife is my sexy. My wife is my porn. My wife is my model. My wife is my magazine. And so when I leave her in that position, she can walk in something that is skimpy and it takes my attention toward her. I don't start thinking about, wow, I saw Shay Shay wear that. Now, the other part of that is,
he retrained his mind.
the other part of that is one of my greatest stimulus is verbiage. I love words. I love talking. You have no idea. Kissing and talking are just the top of my list.
So we have the best conversations ever.
Sometimes.
We have the best conversations, ladies. We have the best conversations.
Sometimes. The best. They're good. I don't know about the best. But anyway. So if you desire your Boaz.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I beg to differ.
Don't.
Okay. The best conversation.
No, we used to do that. We don't do that anymore.
That is not true.
When the last time you said that?
It's been a minute.
Thank you.
It's been a minute.
Thank you. We should do something called wordsmith.
We do wordsmith, yeah.
And it helps us when we're talking to people. She doesn't understand wordsmith anymore. She's lost it. So she tries to keep me quiet because she thinks I'm not wordsmithing. I'm always wordsmithing because I love words. So anyway, but the key becomes you have to come to that point. And ladies, I'm real big on getting yourself together spiritually. All this stuff I can tell you about your mental. If you're not a part of our mentoring class, then you're still going to be fighting a battle from the mental. But you have to get the strength of your spiritual together. And that's what we do. Get the strength of your miracle. You will attract things because you're spiritually sound. You will attract things because you're spiritually sound. You will move in areas because you're spiritually sound. So, and it's a free course. So we do that. We do that. And when that course happens, when we start doing that stuff with our singles, when we start doing stuff with that, you will realize that you're already in the position for the person to be in your life. You just have to get some of the trash that's been left to you.
That's overrun in your household.
Every time that man is with you, if you've had any kind of intimacy with him, he's left part of himself inside of you. Literally. And that can't be purged unless you spiritually purge it and you spiritually and mentally purge it. There's no other way. You can't just keep going there to go. It's like walking around and trying to avoid and ignore your child and think he's going to eventually go away. It's going to still be your child.
Unless they're grown.
And then if you ignore him, he's still your child. Those things are still there. And so when you ask for that, and that's why I see my sisters, I want my Boaz. But yes, I understand. Simple yet powerful. That's a beautiful marriage. I love it. And that's it.
Okay.
All right, guys. It's 9:42.
Yep. We are.
Are your friends deciding they want to ask questions now?
Before it, go back to the right. Before it dissipated. The longest relationship we had outside of each other.
5 years.
Right.
5 years.
That was your marriage.
5 years.
Okay, so you have to forgive me because I let all that stuff go. So I don't retain that information.
Check this out, y'all.
But
my wife went through a purging to let go of all those things. That's what she has me.
Yeah, I had
to the point she really has to think about this. It's funny,
mine.
I go, oh yeah, there was Tamika, there was Shay Shay, because I didn't. They weren't enough to purge for me to purge because I didn't really. But she literally, and that's why I was like, one time, matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, I said, "What's the body count?" She said, "Baby, I don't know. I don't want to know." So I'm sorry. That's amazing to me. So
I want to say,
I will say this: I'm the longest relationship she's had.
Yeah. I don't
Marriage
know.
is also a safe space to exchange love, energy, and cover each other right. What if she makes more money than he? He does not.
Does not
He
contribute.
do contribute most of the time. Same thing. Okay.
That's beautiful.
Did you see that? I was trying to get away.
Okay.
This one is here. I was getting to that one.
Yes. Okay, so that's a conversation. I'm talking to Barbara about that she makes more money.
Okay.
Again, we had that
She made more money than me.
in the beginning.
Matter of fact, I made no money.
In the beginning of our relationship,
I made no money.
We sat down and we devised a plan
For the first year.
with an expiration date. So he had an assignment that was to be completed by a specific amount of time. And so it wasn't just an arbitrary, I'm going to work on it. No. What are you going to do to work on it? How are you going to work on it? And when do you think that it's going to come to fruition? And that
Here's
was the plan.
challenge that I had. Here's ego had to go. Ego was knowing that she was a part of the solution. And this is why a lot of you guys have arguments. Knowing that she was a part of the solution, and her only way to give a part of the solution was to give suggestions. A lot of men, a lot of us have problems because we go, well, you don't trust me. You don't know. It's not trust you. You said April 30th we're going to be in Florida. And I'm saying, why don't you put gas in the car? But I've been by myself so long, I was self-sufficient, but I wasn't efficient. That's deep. I was self-sufficient, but I wasn't efficient. So now she's going, I don't see efficiency. And it's okay that she don't see it because we're married now. So she's looking at, I don't see efficiency. Till I sat down and go, okay, I don't want to do those anymore. She said, okay, fine. She wasn't mad about it. But her thing was, if you're not doing this, what are you doing?
Right. And it was something that we revisited at the set time, along the way. We didn't get to the end. I didn't get to the end and be like, okay, so you didn't do this. No, we had our checkpoints. Do you need help with something? How is this going? Okay, that's not working out. Let's shift it this way. So there was always a plan that we devised together to get to that end result where he was bringing in more money, and we're at that point.
Now, it shifted again when we started doing ministry, but now the organization is starting to produce a lot more. And what I had to realize, I'm sorry, here,
no, just roll
got
it up.
that? Because can you see them? I can't.
Those.
No,
yeah, we
okay.
answered those.
Okay,
yes.
I can't see them.
Okay.
Now, what happened was, as the organization began, what I had to realize was, contrary to the fact that it's in a different place, I'm still producing at a level that's greater than where we were.
Right.
Because even now it was just it was $1,000 shield, but that meant that we still came up with $5,000. We still moved in those areas. So the key becomes now efficiency, and efficiency has to get at another level. That's why we're doing these things, because we have to become more efficient as a group instead of efficient individually. Right. Her job was to make sure you become efficient. Ladies, if he doesn't have a purpose, he's not ready for you. Now, when we got together, we're doing the same thing. We flipped it around. Back to ministry. My wife's like, you need to start a church. I don't want to start a church. You need to start a church. I don't want to start a church. You're good at starting a church. Ladies, if you are married, begin to encourage him in the things that's strong. You're an amazing teacher. You are amazing. Go out of your way to let him know that thing. Why? Because as a man that is a real man, not a boy that moves by emotion, not a child that wants you to buy him stuff, but as a man, we're out here in this world trying to fight for our position. So every once in a while, especially with men that are visionaries or entrepreneurs, every once in a while, just tell him that he's great at it. Tell him that he's great at it. Every once in a while, tell him that he's great at it.
Did you see
because,
that?
Yes, I said that to her.
Did you see that?
Because she treats me like I'm great, but I want to hear it sometimes. Now, why do I want to hear it? I have women all over the country saying it. Right. And I don't need their rhythm in mind.
When you don't reiterate or authenticate the fact that my husband is a fantastic speaker, he's a great teacher, he's a wonderful motivator, his heart is for the people, and so he gives everything when he's doing a counseling session, when he's doing a mentoring session, when he's doing his TikToks, his lives, he gives everything. When he comes out of here, he is exhausted because he left everything here with you. I've never seen a dedication like that from anyone else.
She's trying to make it up now.
No,
but no. Check this out.
I'm not.
So now,
because you guys know that that's true. He's in here. We supposed to be here for an hour. We're coming up on 2 hours now. Because I'm about tapped out. I'm tired.
No, you're tired. But here's the thing. I want you to understand something. When you have that situation happening, and I'm gonna say this, guys, and this is, we getting deep in marriage. We'll talk about this at Power Couple. A friend of mine told me, and then we are literally gonna get off. We got about 10 minutes. A friend of mine told me something. His wife did something with the money, and she lost a lot of money. He had to hustle up money for rent. And he said, Dallas, and I'm gonna say the same thing on the same level. He said, Dallas, I don't understand. I said, do you know there are things that are bigger than adultery? And he goes, wow. For him, having money to do what he wants to do is like having a woman. You take that out and do it with something else. That's like taking part of him out and going to sleep with another man. For me, that encouragement is the same thing. You're letting someone else be intimate with me because they are saying all the things I want to hear from you. And what happens is we begin to draw to that person because now the encouragement in my low times are this person or these people or my lives, because I'm not feeling that same thing or hearing it. I feel it. I'm not hearing it from there. Ladies, if you are busy trying to tell the husband all the things he does, if you're busy trying to tell the boyfriend all the things that you want, instead of saying, this is where I am, either meet me there or exceed that place. Period. Either meet me there or exceed that place. This is what she did. I got you for 3 years, which ended up being 5. I got you for 3 years. Meet me here or exceed the place. That's what you want. A good man, meet me here. Don't say, I got a house, I got a car. Because if you have all that external stuff and that you think that makes you a good wife, you're wrong. You're wrong. House, car, children, I got my own money. That does not make you a good woman. What that makes you? Competition.
And on that note. He does give of his energy and always seems like he wants to be here for us. And Annette said, that's big. Thank you.
Okay, so let's do some advertising. All right? Doing some advertising. I don't know, is it backwards to, we'll see. I got rid of all my letters. Okay. So,
it should be a thing on there.
It's not. Mrs. Kendra is going to give you her top thing that she wants women to know before she leaves. I'm going to try to find it.
Okay.
The top things. And it can be one or two things.
What I already said. Take some time for you. Take a pamper day and really sit down and get to know who your name, Kendra, is. You heard, I just figured out that I actually like to craft. That was something that I discovered in the last 60 days, that I like to make things. I don't know why I never made things before. Probably because I was too busy, didn't have time, or, just have no idea. But now that I've started it, it's something that I like to do. And that may be something that I like to do now. It may not have been a younger Kendra situation. And so figure out something that you like to do. We know I love to travel. We're gone most of the year.
To travel. If we got $1 billion tomorrow, we would be traveling. We wouldn't be buying cars and houses. Well, we might buy a house so we can keep that. But we looked at a house today and it was so nice. My wife was like, they can't eat in here. They have to eat outside. They can't. That with the white marble floors, they bump their heads. So that's the thing. My thing is her. My thing is her. And I love my gadgets. I've learned that over years. I love my gadgets. And now I'm at a point where I don't need any more gadgets. But now...
Because I asked him, I said, what else do you need for
your
office?
We don't even know what I want for Christmas.
What do you need for your office? Nothing.
I got cameras, I got iPads, I got cell phones, I got lights, I got monitors. The only thing
other than a crew to come in and do this, so he doesn't have to do it.
We're about to do that. We're about to move this to. We are actually going to do. I'm going to actually start an organization. It's just not going to be a church. We're going to start an organization. It's not going to be a church. It's up there when you're ready. So it's not going to be an organization. Now, if you are married, what's that saying?
Mr. Dallas and his wife are amazing. Thank you. C Fresh 07. Thank you.
What's up, C Fresh? I don't know what C Fresh means. Okay, so
Fresh.
Let's go this. For those of you that we're going to do this for you guys, it's backwards. Okay, this one is mine. That's my T-shirt. And that one is, you can't see Kendra because Kendra's short. That's her T-shirt. We are doing, for those of you that are on here.
Is this up?
No, it's not up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up. I can shift it. That's over there. Okay.
No. I'm saying, is that live? No.
Yeah, that's. Oh shoot, you're right. That's right. I gotta shrink that because it's not gonna do. It won't stay in the middle of the screen if I don't shrink it.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta shrink it. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta make sure that this stuff is great. Okay. We're live. So if you are actually in a relationship, please don't tell me you're in a relationship and it's having problems, so you're not gonna come. If you're actually in a relationship, here you go. These are your things. It's either way, and just move it over there and move it back. If you're in a relationship, we are in January 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. We are having something called the Power Couples Getaway. It is a retreat. You will be here the whole time. You won't be going away. We will be teaching you. That should pop over there. It's already here. We will be teaching you the things that we learn here. You will get one-on-one time with us, and you'll be able to talk to us and spend time with us and hear some of the things that we are dealing with and how to help you get to your relationship. That's that. If you are in any ways wanting to grow spiritually, you can switch that back off now. It hasn't hit down there yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Just now.
That what you're seeing now, except you TikTok, what you guys seeing now is our website. That is the website. If you are interested in going to the conference, we have a special deal until Christmas. It's our Christmas special. So go to the website, and once you go to the website, you can see that. Did you shift us back?
I did. I just put it back.
Oh, put it back again?
When you start talking about it again.
Yeah. You can go to that website. Now, second thing, if you need counseling, I don't have that up here, unfortunately. If you need personal coaching, we have something for that. If you are interested in our mentoring class, now the mentoring class is about spirituality. It's about growing spiritually. I've been in ministry for over 30 years. I've carried the mantle of a prophet. I've been everything you could possibly be in the church, but I realized that spirituality meant that you were beyond church and beyond Christianity. You were spirituality. And I teach you how to do that. That is free. It is by donation only, and you get to grow with us as we learn. Some of you need to do that. It'll help you with your forgiveness. We're working on books for that. It'll help you with your forgiveness. It'll help you grow. It'll help you get past some of your hurts and your pains, and it'll help you in a lot of different areas. We're doing a spiritual retreat in March. We're doing a spiritual retreat. And if you are single, you guys all come hang out with us. And it'll be Kendra and I think I may get one more person that I like. Kendra and I, and we will sit and have conversations about that. And that's pretty much everything. Everybody on Instagram, if you're interested, you can go to a DM and tell us you're ready, you want to go. If you're on YouTube, go down to the comment and say, yeah, I want to come. If you're on TikTok, simply go to the comment section and say, yeah, I'm interested. If you're interested in any one of those things. Now, that's
Facebook as well.
Oh, and Facebook. I forgot about Facebook. Yes. Go to the comments. Any more questions? Comments or concerns?
That's nice. I wish I were in a relationship. Well, you can come to the spiritual retreat in March. I need the mentoring class. Okay.
I'm sorry, I keep doing that. You can see that.
I've been living.
She's reading.
How do you date and be saved?
How do you date? Are you interested? I'm interested. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Wait. I forgot. It's TikTok.
What did we forget?
I forgot. I can help TikTok. I forgot. TikTok, you did a thing for TikTok. We have stuff for TikTok, so we can do TikTok.
That's what I thought you were looking for.
I forgot. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot. Okay, TikTok. Screenshot this. Email address if you're interested in the mentoring class. If you need a one-on-one, that's the Calendly doc, whatever. Cash App, feel like you want to be a blessing. That's that. This is for those that are in couples. That is
That's the power
couple.
getaway.
That's the video that we just showed on the other two things. So screenshot this. Everybody can screenshot it. Go ahead and do that right now. All right,
And that comes up backwards up there?
No, it doesn't come up backwards to them.
Okay.
If I showed it to them, if I showed it to the front of the camera, it comes up backwards. That's why you see this is backwards on us.
Yeah.
But on here, it's turned the right way.
Yeah. If you hadn't written on it, you could just turn it that way. If you hadn't written on the back, you could turn it that way to the camera, to this camera.
No, they can see it. They have all these. Everybody here has they have a DM. They all have DMs. See?
Okay.
They have DMs.
Yep.
They have DMs. They have DMs. They don't have a DM.
Gotcha.
You got it? Good. Email us right now or be a part of that. Now, if you know people that want to be a part of that group, and this is for me and you, the mentoring group is a exclusive group. It is not just a general group about Bible study. It's about getting yourself stronger spiritually so you can live your life. So if you know somebody that's like that needs that, you need to let them know, because we do it. Matter of fact, we'll be on Tuesday at 8 o'clock this Tuesday, but it will be the last one until
first of the year.
Yeah, right after Christmas.
Yeah.
Right after Christmas. It'll be the last one until right after Christmas. Now, the other thing is, with the mentoring group, we're going to establish an app so that I can give you guys daily helps and mentoring, all the stuff that we do, everything. I'm going to pour into you the stuff that's been pouring into me for the last 30 days. Anyway, okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Did you need me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like making sure before I start shutting, because I thought that was the shut. That was the shut it down knee. I'm making sure that wasn't the love knee and the shut. I need to know the shut down knee over the love knee, and that's like this is what she said. I can do this. I'll be all day. All right. No more questions, comments, or concerns. Thank you for Pastor Kenny showing up. I saw you, Pastor Kenny. God bless you. We thank you very much.
Yes.
Everybody that was on Instagram. Thank you very much. Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for all the yeses. Appreciate you.
Now, when we cut this camera off, you guys are going to be the only ones here. Everybody else is going to go because everybody else is on the system. So,
all right, guys.
thank you very much, everybody. We love you.